Welcome back, exactly 1:30 p.m. on the dot. I've got a special guest right here in the studio. We've got ex-rugby national team captain of Brunei. We've got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, co-owner and head coach of Khalifa Mixed Martial Arts, and of course, professional MMA fighter with One Warrior Series with a 3-0 record. We've got Faez Eazy Anuar. What's happening, man?
Hi guys, hi, assalamualaikum, and good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam.
It's great to be here. Thanks, Dini, for giving me the opportunity to be here.
It's all good. I mean, so a lot of people over the weekend have been catching, or at least have seen a lot of stuff on Facebook and even on WhatsApp. You're involved in a bout. So you went to Japan as part of One Warrior Series 8, and then you were fighting in Japan, and where you managed to demolish, you managed to manhandle your opponent, and then you managed to get the victory all in one round through a submission. So,
Right.
How did that feel like? What was the process like?
When the bout ended, like it was, alhamdulillah, like it was the end of the road. You know, like the ride is done. You know, the whole process of preparation, all the sacrifice that people don't see, like it's ended, and it's ended in my favor, in the nation's favor. So, it was very overwhelming. But you know, like we were very well prepared for it. So
It definitely shows, because the way that you handled yourself. I mean, what goes through your mind when the bell rings? I mean, when you're squaring off against your opponent there, you know you got to touch gloves, and then you see your opponent. When the bell rings, what's taken on?
right, it's just that a lot of people think like, oh, like once the bell rings, you gotta flip and turn into a different person. But I mean, like throughout the training camp, like we train for moments like these every day. So when the bell rang, like, it was just another training day, really. What you call this? We've prepared ourselves very well, and the feeling is just it's like any other training day, you know, any other sparring day.
So do you have like control of everything? I mean, within the 5 minutes, because you have to do. So the bout was supposed to be for 3 5-minute rounds, but
Yeah.
you only did it. You managed to finish the fight within 1 round, right?
Yeah, well, that was the game plan. Really, is just to strike first, strike hard, set the pace early. You know, set the pace to my kind of fight, like our kind of fight, for what we've trained for in camp, and it's just to pick the opponent apart. You know, like once you start picking him apart, he's gonna start to fold. And
It was something to behold. I think our boss Azmi managed to watch it this morning when I gave him the link. You really just manhandled him. I mean, you gave him absolutely no chance. I think you struck him hard, and then you just pushed him to the ring, pushed him to the ropes, and then you brought him down. You could just see the despair in his face. So what was going through your mind? I mean, like, were you confident as the round went through it?
I was very well aware of what I was doing. Like I was picking my shots. You know, I wasn't rushing in. I mean, like it's just a process that I've sort of like fixed from my previous fights. Like trying not to rush in, trying to pick the guy apart, and you know he's just gonna give me all the positions once he starts giving up. You know, you'll be able to see it in your opponent's eyes. Like once he's gonna start to give up, like. Then you know it's all yours. You know, it's just a matter of time before he folds.
Because I've never seen you this composed in the ring, especially
Yeah.
with MMA. So this was really good. You could just see how confident and comfortable you are. So I think this is your third bout.
My third professional MMA bout. Yeah.
So what was the difference between the first one and this one? Were your debut and then this one?
Well, it's because this one, like, I really did a lot of sacrifices, dedicated a lot of my time to actually join a proper camp down at the guys at Bali MMA. And man, like a huge part of it is also trying to build self-confidence. You know, like trying to actually acknowledge the fact that you are good. Like you are this good fighter. Like you just have to know it. You know that. It's just about self-belief first before anyone else can believe that. You know, you got to believe in yourself, and once you can crack that system, then you know you're unstoppable.
It's that mental block inside.
It's that mental block inside.
So you are your own worst enemy type of deal.
Yeah, it's one of those deals. Yeah.
Awesome, man. So how long were you in Bali for prepping for this fight? How long was the camp?
Well, I mean, like I usually fly out like once in 2 months and stuff like that. Maybe spend a week or two, but For this time around, I spent about 6 weeks away. So
6 weeks.
6 weeks
away from family.
Away from family.
everything.
From the usual routine here in Brunei. So that was a sacrifice. It wasn't easy. Like there were difficult days, you know. But when you have a goal, like I'm sure like good things will come, you know, once you persevere.
Just put the blinders on and then just like put your head down.
Yeah, you just gotta keep your focus, you know. Like you've got a deadline, you know, like October 5th. That's your goal. Like, you know, you just gotta ride through the end, you know. That kind of stuff, yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of a song break. We'll be back with more and Eazy Anuar to talk a little bit about MMA and then his journey getting to One Warrior Series. But in the meantime, I thought this was quite apt. We got some Shawn Mendes and Zed with Lost in Japan. Eazy Anuar, professional MMA fighter with One Warrior Series. How's it going? Welcome back.
Everything's all good, like enjoying the food now, you know.
So that's one thing that you have to like deal with, right? I mean, just to be fighting fit, you actually have to fit into a weight class, which means you have to watch.
That's right. Like this is a weight class oriented sport, so
yeah.
So I mean, like in terms of like the diet and food and all that, like I don't really agree on diets. Like people don't really stick to diets. No, it's always a task. You know, you have to think about it as changing a lifestyle. Yeah. That's it. Like,
changing your lifestyle. That's quite funny because the word on the street is, because right now if you see Eazy, I'm sure some of you guys have seen pictures of Eazy Anuar. You know, he's just poster boy of like being fighting fit. He's ripped, he's muscular, but that wasn't always the case.
Oh no.
So back in the day, this guy, what was your heaviest? You're like 120.
I was 120 kilos. 120 kilos, just unfit, really. That's the big word, unfit.
Just circular.
Yeah.
So how did it all happen? I mean, like, how did you become the person that you are now? How did you get into MMA? Because a lot of people, if they've been following you and your journey, know that you are previously Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert. You're a brown belt in Jiu-Jitsu, one belt away from black belt.
Yeah.
But how did you transition from Jiu-Jitsu into becoming an MMA fighter, professional one?
Well, I mean, like, Jiu-Jitsu is just like that's the bread and butter, you know. Like, but we've always been training like boxing, kickboxing, as a whole. Anyway, we've competed in a couple of amateur boxing bouts, kickboxing bouts. Because I've also trained like Muhammad Nur Hidayat ever since he started his amateur MMA bouts.
Yeah.
So MMA was just something that we sort of like trained and sort of, you could say, naturally progressed into. But all these tools like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, they're all tools of the trade to become a complete mixed martial artist.
So for some of our listeners out there who might not be too clued up on what mixed martial arts is, I mean, they might have heard the name mixed martial arts or MMA.
UFC.
or UFC, right? So what is it exactly? Like, it's a mix of different martial arts. So you're primarily a Jiu-Jitsu fighter, but then you've transitioned to MMA with some skill sets with boxing and Muay Thai. Maybe you can just let some people out there know, because I think some people, when they think of UFC or they think of mixed martial arts, they think it's like a no holds barred type of deal. Like,
well, mixed martial arts, like mixed martial arts is just the name of the sport. All right. So, but you have like all these different organizations, like One Championship, UFC, Pride, Bellator, and all that. Those are the organizations, and each organization has their own rule sets or ways of judging, and their own protocols. All right, so basically, mixed martial arts events are it's a combat sport event. Professionally, you fight for 5 minutes for 3 rounds, where you can showcase your skill set as a mixed martial artist. So it could be a wide variety, a huge mix of like any striking art or any grappling art. To be a good mixed martial artist, like you can't be too one-dimensional, you know. Like you gotta be sturdy on your feet, you be strong on the ground, you gotta be strong with your takedowns and all that.
Super holistic. You have to be an all-round fighter, right?
You have to be a whole, you know. Like you can't expect to join a mixed martial arts event and be a one-trick pony, you know.
Yeah, and it seems really safe too. I mean, a lot of people might think it's really dangerous, that there might not be too many rules that they see, but I mean there are rules to follow, right? Because I remember seeing, and I think one of the fights before, one guy got, I think, penalized or yellow carded for like kicking somebody in the face from the bottom or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like there are a lot of rules and regulations. You know, like safe, especially with one championship. That's why I personally feel like one championship is doing a superb job, because they are very, very hands-on. They're very they really take this whole safety aspect seriously. You know, from fighting in your own natural weight class, like we have dehydration tests where you're not able to do water cuts, and you have constant brain CT scans and all that, just to make sure you're fit to fight. And we have all these neurological tests, medical tests, blood tests, and everything. You know, it's they take safety very seriously.
That's good, because I think
longevity as well.
Yeah. Longevity of the fighters. Because I think they've had some issues in the past where they've had to address that.
Yes.
And I think that's what's putting ONE FC in the lead in terms of that.
That's correct, yeah.
So, MMA in Brunei, mixed martial arts, is still a very new sport. So how did this all come about, especially in Brunei, when there aren't too many places to train? How did you guys set this all up? Because you also have your own gym, Khalifa Mixed Martial Arts.
That's correct, yeah.
So how did that all go about?
You know, like Brunei in total is only 420,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole population. And it's only a small percentage of that are interested into combat sports. You know, like we don't have the luxury of all these training partners or like high level coaches from around the world to help shape us. So the way we go around it is we just have to get all these local athletes to train together. You know, like we just have to help build each other up. It's what do you call this? It's just a cycle, really. Like you gotta help build other athletes up, and then once they come up to your level, you automatically rise up as well.
Yeah, you get stronger together.
You get stronger together. That's correct.
That's awesome. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about Khalifa Mixed Martial Arts. So what it's about, what courses, and then what classes you guys offer. Coming up right after this. Okay. Coming up to 10 minutes to 2 p.m. We're still here in the studio, privileged to have right here KRISTAlfm, fresh from his victory at One Warrior Series 8, where he dominated his opponent. We've got Faez Eazy Anuar. Welcome back, man.
Thanks, Dan.
So, we got some people here asking, Eazy Anuar is quite an interesting name, because especially with the fight that a lot of people saw over the weekend where you manhandled your opponent, have you considered changing your name to Difficult Anuar? Because you're not easy to beat at all.
No, man, like it's a comforting name. So I mean, like I just don't see a reason why I should be changing it.
I think a lot of people out there in Brunei listening, they probably got some messages over the weekend in different WhatsApp groups, because I think your fight, the highlights of it, where you submitted your opponent, he didn't even have a chance to tap. You put him to sleep.
Yeah,
with a triangle choke.
I mean, like that triangle choke. Like, I mean, we've drilled it a lot. Like, there are specific details on like how you can make it work 100 times better. Really,
I've been on the receiving end of that. So when I saw it, I was like, man, this guy is in for it. And then you just knew he was gonna fall asleep. So like, because I saw the replays of it, you were just looking at his face just to check to see if he was asleep.
Yeah, because I knew I was sinking it in. You know, like I mean, like especially in MMA fights, like, you know, people don't tap. Like, people wanna leave it towards the end. You know, like I mean, like in jiu-jitsu matches, like, yeah, people tap. It's a normal thing. I guess he was just trying to see how far he could go.
well, he was 10 seconds shy.
It was also pressure for him, I guess, because he was fighting in his home ground.
That's true.
He had his
which made your victory a lot more remarkable too.
Yeah, I mean, like coming in as the underdog, you know, like it's always a good place as well, because it's less pressure on you.
Yeah. So we were talking a little bit about Khalifa Mixed Martial Arts, the gym that you co-own with your wife. Could you tell us
and my cousin
and your cousin Adi? Could you tell us a little bit more about Khalifa Mixed Martial Arts for some of our listeners out there who might be interested to know about MMA, and then what classes that you guys offer?
All right. So well, first of all, like we've been training in like previous gyms before this, but then again, like in 2017, we put our heads together and decided, like, hey, let's just open up our own place, you know, and think of a name. So how Khalifa came about because Khalifa means to lead, you know. So we felt like we had to step up to the occasion and start to lead people in the right way, especially the combat sports scene here in Brunei. And so we wanted to be the ones to set an example to the nation. So to cut the long story short, that's how the name Khalifa came about. So basically, we opened up our shop in December 2017, where we offer classes from boxing, kickboxing, grappling, wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, strength conditioning. We offer private classes, one-on-one, or group private classes as well.
So one-stop shop for everything martial arts.
Yeah, everything martial arts really. But it's more of like the sports martial arts, the mixed martial arts genre really. So we have classes from kids classes to adults, and like the age groups of our adults classes really ranges from like teenagers to like, you know, people in their 50s, and the types of people that come and train with us is just a wide variety of people, which is really good, which is really nice to see, because that's what we were hoping to build, like this huge community, you know, this huge family feel, like it's just a place where everybody can connect through martial arts, really.
Where you also don't have to be fit first
No,
in order
like
to go there, right?
a lot of people keep on asking, oh, I want to try and get fit first before I join any of the classes. But if you say that, it's like saying, I want to be clever before I start school, you know. I mean, like we build you into a good person at the gym, you know.
So where can people find more about Khalifa Mixed Martial Arts? Where are you guys located?
We are located in Karong. We're just a few blocks away from Baiduri Karong. If you like, try and look for Bangunan Arafah, Simpang 41-1-8. We are on the ground floor for now. Unit 10. Yeah. The reason why I say for now is because we will be launching our Khalifa 2.0
nice.
at the same building, hopefully by the end of November, where we have state-of-the-art equipment. It's going to be more family-friendly, bigger space, bigger mats, and a more functional gym, really, to accommodate to combat sport athletes.
Nice. That's really cool. So that's coming up soon.
Anticipate that, guys.
So, what else can we expect from you? What else can we expect from Khalifa Mixed Martial Arts for the rest of the year and 2020?
Well, like you know, like we just have to keep our targets on check. You know, just keep moving forward. We have standards. We have benchmarks to uphold. You know, few of our fighters, like we still got a couple of fights left in our contracts. I mean, like that's
contracts with One Warrior Series.
Yes, that's correct. Contracts with One Warrior Series. We're also trying to get a couple of people in to get signed as well.
Nice.
So which is good. Like, you know, like I would say Brunei bangkit bersama lah. Like everybody's got to rise together. You know.
Yeah.
Like that's the one attitude that we all need to have. Like as a small nation, like you got to back each other up.
Yeah.
But as far as Khalifa goes, like we are looking to provide better services. You know, better classes, more quality classes, really, like because we are also home to Brunei BJJ community.
Yeah.
So like we also try to keep a good standard on that, and we try to give quality instructions and all that, and you know, we just want to see this whole community grow, and the standard of combat sports in Brunei really be on par with all the other countries.
See, that's good. That's what we want to see. Like, just people homegrown, just heroes in Brunei, just helping develop and then putting Brunei on the map. So we've got one question from one listener actually on IG Live, Walid Ar Hussein. He's asking, can you ask Eazy what type of music does he listen to?
Oh, all right. I listen to a lot of hip hop, a lot of rap. You know, like when I have my downtime with my family, with my wife, we listen to a lot of R&B. So.
Yeah. So if you ever get to go to any of Eazy's classes at Khalifa Mixed Martial Arts, you'll be, you know, privy to a lot of his gangster rap playing on the speaker.
It keeps people on their toes, you know, like It just puts up a good vibe in the gym. Well, for me at least.
All right, man. So just before we go, maybe you could just let us, some of our listeners out there, know where they can get in touch with you on social media if they just want to continue finding more about your journey and Khalifa Mixed Martial Arts too.
Right. If you want to find out about my journey throughout my career, you can look me up on Instagram at Eazy Anuar, EAZYANUAR, or if you just want to get in touch with us through Khalifa, please don't hesitate. Just look us up at Khalifa Mixed Martial Arts. That would be KHALIFA Mixed MIXED Martial Arts, both at Facebook or Instagram.
Nice. Thank you so much for joining us today, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. We wish you the best of luck on your mixed martial arts journey and helping Brunei just be proud this weekend and then getting a lot of people. We got one message here from Madhu Mangaris asking a very difficult question, asking, how are you?
I am doing great right now, and can't wait to start training again today. And
Back to the grind.
Back to the grind today. It doesn't stop.
All right, thank you so much, man. The best of luck.
All right, thank you, Dini. Thank you,
again.
KRISTALfm. Thank you so much. Thank you. Can I just say thank you to the nation, to my parents, to my wife, for all the du'as everyone has put forward. Everybody's support has been very overwhelming, and it's keeping me grounded. And I mean, I always try to stay humble, and I mean, I do this for everybody, you know. Like what do you call this? You know, if you have a dream, you gotta chase it. You gotta pursue it. You know, and always tell yourself it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you know, take things one step at a time.
Awesome.
And always believe in yourself. That's the biggest concept. Believe in yourself.
Some good words from our very own professional MMA fighter, Eazy Anuar. Thank you so much. The best of luck to you, buddy.
Thank you.